Well, greetings and great to be with you here on this Sunday evening tonight as the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Grand Canyon Lopes will play some baseball tonight. Hello everybody, my name is Dan the Cornman, and I came home from work and I thought, looked on MLB Network today just because I was trying to look for stuff to talk about before the season began or even stream. And I saw this was up there and I thought, what the hell? This would be a good game. So yeah, welcome to, actually Nebraska's the home team apparently, or the road team apparently. They'll get their guys up there first. Probably should have brought a lineup up, but I didn't do that. So, get the live stats up here so that way I can see who's batting. All right, and the first pitch thrown, and it's a 1-0 count to Nebraska. And a clip out to the first base, to the first baseline, and that'll be the first out. Dang it, I knew I messed something up. Here's the pitch from Grand Canyon, as that's a swing and a miss by the Huskers here at the top of the first. With one out down already in this game. We'll just deal with it. Oh, 2 is the count currently to the Huskers. Set now. Here's the pitch. And we'll go back into the seats. 0-2 is the count. Oh, 2 count to the Huskers, and outside 1-2. One-two count for Nebraska. Here's the pitch. And slips it high to center. And that is going to be a base hit for Nebraska. As that'll get the Huskers on base to start the game with a 1-out single to center. That was Buck on the single. Outside for ball 1. Pitcher currently is Frey for the Lopes. One 0 count. Swing and a miss by Case Sanderson. And now 1-1 is the count. One count, swing and a miss. 1-2. Here's the pitch, swing, and a foul. That'll go into the stands there, as that'll be a 1-2 count now. Frey's pitch, low and outside, and he'll drop the ball, but he'll try to get back on it, and will before he can even get to before the runner can even try to advance. Two-two count for Frey. Up high, swings at it, foul ball. As the Huskers get set here. The 2-2 from Frey. Swing and a miss. And that'll be out number 2 there. Here in the top of the first. Huskers trying to start the season 3-0. To begin the year. Joshua Overbeek is up for the Skurs. First pitch is in the zone, 1-0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1 from Frey. That time swung and missed, 0-2. The Huskers starting the season now 3-0, or 2-0 to begin the year, looking to start at 3. Here's the 0-2 from Frey. And wild pitch kind of gets away from him as the runner will advance. Runner advances on to second. Two outs. Here's the first, and low, and a ball 1. The Huskers want to try to get something started here. The 1-0. And up top, that's going to be 2-0 count. Currently up right now, Drew Carey for Nebraska. As we'll try to get the 2-0 here. That's in the zone for a strike. Or no, called outside. 3-0. Nebraska looking to get 2 on here to begin the inning. And gets in there the zone. That's 3-1 count. Three-one count for the Huskers. Frey's pitch, swing and a miss up high. 3-2. Frey comes set. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Fouls it. Tip foul, excuse me. Full count. Man on second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss that time. And the Huskers able to grab a hit in the inning. I wonder if I can get the outs up here while we're doing this. There's that. And there's that. Believe that to be correct. Okay, I believe that to be correct. And we'll do this because I forgot to add this when I was making it today. So you guys get to see my behind the scenes. As we'll go to the bottom of the first. Grand Canyon coming up next here. Due up for Grand Canyon. Bianchina, Perez, and Chacon. All three are seniors. Bianchina, switch hitter. And the Huskers getting ready to look for a 3-0 start to the season, as I said many times before, but as now here comes the first batter for the Grand Canyon team. As they get set. Gives the tap to the base. And the first pitch and low. The pitcher for the Huskers, Blachowicz for the Huskers. Ready to run with this. In the zone there, called strike. 1-2 is the 1-1 is the count. One bottom of the first, and swing and a miss to start. As that'll go 1-2. One and two the count, and gets away from him, but nobody on base, so it's okay. It'll stay 2-2. Here's a 2-2. And on the ground again. That's going to be 3-2 count coming up here. Blagnowitz, that's his name. 3-2. Blagnowitz, the pitch. And swing high, popped up into the air. And the gets to the warning track. But nothing will do for that one, as that is out number one. GCONN will start. We'll get the second plate appearance here. Here's the pitch, and in for a strike. Man, this chair is really uncomfortable. 0-1 count here. And ball gets away from him. And gets away from him and gets hit by the pitch. As Grand Canyon will be able to get a guy on base there. Not something they wanted out of that. Excuse me, there's Perez. Now up is Chacon for Grand Canyon. Here's the 0-0 count here. And gets away from him. That's 1-0. Want to know the pitch, swaying in a miss that time. That'll be a 1-1 count. Coming up for Grand Canyon. Daggum. 1-1 count. Up high. Called strike. Says he's winning round. Here we go. 1-2. Come set and a pickoff attempt here. And not in time. Pitch clock will reset back to 20 as we're down to 15, 14, 13. Come set the pitch up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a line shot here. Tag a third to second, double play. The Huskers get out of the inning. As that'll go to the end of the first. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on my air conditioning. It's kind of hot in here. I return with something a little, cooler on this time. And by cooler, I don't mean fashionable, but rather, Okay, so Top of the second. Here we go. As currently right now, the only seeming base play was a hit in the first inning by Buck. As Butenbach comes up for the Huskers here at the top of the second. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. And kind of tipped foul, and that's going to be strike one. One and one. Here's a little grounder here as it's picked up and gets it in time for this first out of the second. Nebraska, they'll have Kitchens up next. They'll have Kitchens up here. The Huskers trying to get something going, see if they can get some runs on the board. Here's the first pitch to Kitchens, and that's in the zone for a strike. The Huskers were able to knock off UConn on Friday, 12-2. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss that time, 0-2. Was able to knock out Northeast on Friday night, 12-2, winning in a mercy rule. And ended up knocking off UConn. UConn. Here's the 0-2 as it's swung on, as that one's kind of gotten up in the air and retrieved by the center fielder, as that'll be out number 2. Out number 2 there. Here's the pitch on the first one, swing and a miss to him, 0-1 count. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2. Top of the second, 0-2. Huskers nothing, Grand Canyon nothing. Here's the pitch on the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on that one. 3 strikes and swinging. That'll go down there to the middle second. As the Husker defense takes the field. No walks, no hits, no errors for the Huskers. As they get this set. Kind of watching him here get warmed up is Blachowicz, or how is it? Blachowicz. Perry will be up first for the Grand Canyon Lopes. Be Perry, Johns, and Sanders due up for Grand Canyon. If I take a look at the other day, let's see. We'll check some of these after the mid. As here we go, we're getting the first pitch from Blackowitz right now, and that's on the ground and up towards the seats. Ball one. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss that time. 1-1 count. One and one count to Grand Canyon's Perry up high. That's going to be 2-1. As he leans away from it, up near the head. As here's a pitch to the Grand Canyon and gets hit. It's the second hit by Nebraska by Blackowitz. As Grand Canyon gets a hit by pitch in order to get on base. Will Bolt has come out on the field now for the Huskers. He's upset about something. As we wait to see what he says about it. He's still on the field. He's arguing with the ump about something. As Grand Canyon gets the next guy set here, it's Johns. Swing and a miss on the first one, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a fouls back to the net. 0-2. Blackowitz trying to see if he can not put himself into a hole here. Swing. Pops it up high into the air, and it's going to be recovered for the first out on the fly. The runner will remain at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's to Sanders. Oh, 1 count and a little pickoff attempt to first. Nowhere doing on that one. Still 0-1 the count. And that is going to be a steal into second. Ah, dang it. So steal there by Grand Canyon as Black Witch's pitch goes outside this time. That's 2-2 count with one out and a man on second. Two count coming up here. Here's the pitch. And outside, 3-2 count. Shocking development here. Here's the pitch. As that one gets flown high into left. And makes the catch, but near the warning track that time. And now it's second out, and a man's still on second base. It's Perry on second. Oh, count. Here's the pitch. And misses that one, and the runner will go to third, I think. Yeah, he gets over to third that time. Oh, 1 count, fouls. 0-2. Man on third, here's the pitch. And almost hit him again. Almost hit him again. 0-2. Sorry, 1-2 is the count. Messing with the board on that a little bit. Blackowitz's pitch. And line drive foul. Again, 1-2. One, two with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him that time. That's the third out, and that will end the second inning. A man on third is not coming home. A hit by pitch twice has gotten Grand Canyon on base, but as they're not able to do anything, as they'll send us to the top of the third. As of right now, according to ESPN, Fresno State is beating Utah 14-8. Michigan is up 2-1 on Arizona. And Gonzaga is up 2-0 over Hawaii, or Hawaii, if you will, in the college baseball sphere. Not something we've really ever covered here on this side of things, but it's always good to kind of be sure that you're flexible for some things. So here we go. Jet ski is up here for Nebraska, trying to get things started. Top of the third, here's the pitch, and tries a bunt attempt, pulls back last minute, as it is outside, 1-0. 1-0 pitch, and swings at it, and that one is gone. Jeske gets the Huskers on the board, and it's 1-0 Nebraska. Nebraska. One to nothing. Miller gets back up for Nebraska here. 0-1 in his attempt so far. Here's a pitch from Fry. And strike one. Looking strike. Oh, 2 count now. As here comes Fry. Trying to get himself settled. And lower that time. That's 1-2. Probably not where you wanted to put that. Puts it in the dirt. 1-2. Swing and a foul ball back. 1-2 again to Miller. As Jeske hits a home run into left field, and he knew it was gone. Here's the pitch. Slices foul again to the back of the net. Playing at Sloan Park for the Desert Invitational. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Low again, 2-2. As Miller trying to get himself something going here, trying to keep this Huskers lead stretching. Here's a pitch. And again, low that time in the dirt. 3-2. Fry with a box at his oyster. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And swung it at that time. Goes foul. Nebraska trying to grab something going here. 3-2. Count the pitch. And fouls it again. We got pitch number 10 coming up here. Here's the pitch. And Fry swings and misses on that one. And that's the first out of the third. The first out here, this is Buck slices that one, goes up and caught for out number 2. As now the Huskers, after getting a solo home run from Jiski, have dropped 2 in a row. As now Case Sanderson, who's 0 for 1, comes up to bat now. In there for a strike that time. Fry again. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Second strike of the at bat here. Here's the pitch. And up top, that's 1-2 the count. And the scorekeeper on the scoreboard on the TV is not doing great with the board. Sanderson fouls it back. That's going to remain 1-2. One and two the count. Fouls it again. Here's the pitch. 1-2. And again slices it back for a foul. Not letting up this time. One and two for Grand Canyon. And up top that time, and that's going to be 2-2. Two count with 2 outs here in the third. And that time, a little hopper this time. Going to try to chase him down. And he's going to make it in there. As Nebraska is able to grab a base. Dylan Carey is up next for Nebraska. I'm sorry, Joshua Overbeek. Excuse me. Wrong guy. Here's the pitch. That time slices it. And that'll drop again as Nebraska is able to get 2 on. Nebraska able to get a couple of runners on here, as now there'll be a mound meeting. Couple of hits gets this up to 4 total hits for Nebraska. Case Sanderson and Joshua Overbeek on base. Overbeek at first and Sanderson at second. Nebraska with an availability to put a couple of runs up here. And a ground foul this time. That's Carey. Carey on the 0-1. Fry comes set. Here's the pitch. And kind of bobbles with the ball a little bit as it's in the dirt. 1-1. Fry still up here for Nebraska. Little slicer. And foul again. 1-2. 2 outs. Here's the pitch on a 2-out 1-2. And swings at it in the dirt. That's going to wrap the top half there for Nebraska. As Carey is able to just swings at a bad ball. Just swung at a bad ball. Checking out stuff from yesterday. Trying to find the Charleston. I want to find out who Grand Canyon played yesterday. Ended up playing Penn State yesterday, losing 9-3. And on Friday, they ended up also, I believe they played on Friday, as that was almost universally everybody's opening day, pretty much, to my knowledge. Yeah, Grand Canyon ended up playing Northeastern, ended up winning 10-7, winning that in Mercy Rule as well. Nebraska was able to pull out 12-2 against UCONN on Friday. And then on Saturday, yesterday, was able to, if I can find it, able to beat Northeastern 7-4. So bottom of the third. Huskers up 1-0 on 4 hits tonight. And first pitch is in the dirt. That's 1-0. As it's Bates up now for Grand Canyon. And outside of the zone again, that's going to be 2-0. Blackowitz trying to get himself in gear here. 2-0 for Grand Canyon, and that's going to be a foul, 2-1. Two one upcoming here for Grand Canyon. Blackowitz set. Here's the pitch. And slices that one foul, 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Blackowitz. And in there for strike 3, right down the middle without a doubt. And I dropped one of my gummies. First out of the inning. Or the bottom half of the third. One 0 count now. Here's the pitch. Right down there in the hole, and that's 1-1. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss. 1-2 is the count now. Here's the 1-2, and doesn't quite catch the zone. 2-2. Nelson, here's the pitch. That time swung and missed at it. As that'll be out number 2 in the inning. Buttonbach coming up here for, no, excuse me. I can't say that name. Here's the pitch on the first one, 1-0 count. Here's a 1-0 count this time, and swings it. And is able to grab the ground out from second to first. And is able to put that thing in there to end the inning. And go to the end of the third. That's the third out here. Take a small break here. Do what you need. We're right back off 1540 the corn. Well, there we go. The first pitch is coming towards you here as the top of the fourth begins. Nebraska is up currently 1-0 here at the top of the fourth as we get set. Here's the first pitch and is outside for ball one. As we have Kitchens on the 1-0, slams this one, and that's going to go into right, but will be easily collected for the first out of the fourth inning. One 4-0. Nunez comes up for Nebraska. First pitch to Nunez, that's a grounder. And gets into center field that time. And the ball kind of gets away and is able to get a couple of Huskers on base. Into second and third there. So Buttenbach was hit by a pitch. Kitchens flied out. And Nunez doubled. And getting into the bases, and the Huskers with a solid start here. So that gets them hit number 5 on the night. As Deedon does, the Huskers looking to strike once more. Grand Canyon with their 1-1 record. After the team meeting on the mound, the pitcher has now changed. It is Aiden Lee getting his first appearance this season, as he'll have to face Chesky, who on his first at-bat hit a solo home run to left. He's getting his warm-ups in. Just a couple here and there. And while they do that, we'll look at, so today in NASCAR, don't cover that really much. Tyler Reddick was able to grab himself the win today, behind ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and my least favorite driver, Brad Keselowski. As we have now up for Nebraska, Chesky, who soloed homered, Aiden Lee's first pitch is a strike right down the center. 0-1 is the count. Here's the 0-1 count here. And gets up in the air. Here comes a runner for Nebraska as he scores. Nunez goes to third. And a pitch and a wild pitch gets the Huskers up 2. And on third now is Nunez. One count. Here's the pitch. And outside 2-1 again. 2-1 again for Nebraska. Here's the pitch. And swings it. Gets up the middle. And a space single gets Nebraska up 3. Nothing Huskers. And a man on first. That was Jeske. Sorry. I think it was. Sorry, it was Miller. Sorry, Miller's up. I'm not sure what's going on here. 0-1. To Miller. Climbs that thing. And gets a base hit. Sliding in to second or to third is Nunez. And Miller on third, and Nebraska just coming out hot here in the top of the 4th. As Nebraska has just torn this game open already in the 4th. Nebraska trying to finish it out here. 3-0, top of the 4th, a runner on first and third. Here's the pitch and outside for a ball. 1-0. This is to Buck. The 1-0 to Buck. Lee sets, throw to first. Will not get it in time. Lee gets set. The delivery. And swing and a miss, 1-1. Nebraska up 3-0 in this game so far. Here's the pitch. Slices foul, 1-2. There we go. 1-2 count here for Nebraska. Here's it's a pickoff attempt again. And going nowhere with that as it's still 1-2. Lee comes set again. Here's the pitch. And fly to left. Caught for the out. But runner comes in. I thought it was gone. So a sac fly gets the Huskers up 4-0. 4-0 Nebraska over Grand Canyon. Here's a pitch. It was anticipating a steal, but nothing going. Four to nothing, Nebraska. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And outside, 2-2. Just too high on that one. Miller stand at first. Case Sanderson up for Nebraska. 2-0 count. And no, does not call that a strike as he calls it outside. 3-0 Nebraska for the Huskers. 3-0 to Sanderson. And low walk. Now Joshua Overby comes up for Nebraska. 1-for-1 today. As he has had today, hit by pitch and a single. Here's the pitch from and foul. Aiden Lee so far giving up a couple of hits and a lot of runs. Oh, and 1 here. Here's the pitch. High 1-1 count. As this 4th inning has gone a lot longer than kind of anticipated. Nebraska able to put up 3 runs pretty quickly. Here's the pitch on 1-1. Outside 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Lee comes set now. Takes a look back at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two count here as Grand Canyon trying to get out of this hole they've kind of dug. Here's the pitch. And no go, they say 3-2. Overbeat kind of saved himself a little bit there. And now 3-2 coming up for Nebraska. Three-two count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And swung and missed. Swung and missed. Oh, no. 3rd out. Middle 4. Oh, no. Man. Not the way you want an end to inning for sure, but Nebraska had a lot going for them. Nebraska officially on this scoreboard right now. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Grand Canyon, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nebraska currently keeping the reins on Grand Canyon as they increase their lead. Gavin Blackowitz coming up here so far. 3 innings pitched and 3 strikeouts. As Perez will be coming up first for Grand Canyon University Lopes. Assuming that's antelopes, most likely. As we'll see Blackowitz come back here for Nebraska. And gets it down here. Incoming now. Here's the pitch. And in there for a strike that time. 0-1. 0-1 here, top of the fourth, or bottom of the fourth. Slices that one into left center. And that drops down for a base hit. As Grand Canyon finally is able to drop themselves a nice singular hit into the fourth. We'll see how the Huskers want to do this. Here's the pitch and low that time, 1-0 count. Chuck on again. And 2-0. Chacon. 2-0 count here. Here's the pitch. And swings. And that's going to get it for a base hit. And 2 on, nobody out for Grand Canyon. Quickly trying to strike back against the Huskers, who was able to put 3 runs on them in the last inning as of damage. "4-0 Nebraska." 2 runners on for Grand Canyon. And Perry is up now, as that's a low ball 1. Here's the pitch, and outside again. That's 2-1. Grand Canyon looking to attack into this Nebraska lead. Nebraska was your last year's Big Ten champions, winning the Big Ten tournament last season. Currently 2-0 as the team goes to the mound. 2-0 for Nebraska. And incoming now, Nebraska resets. Perry still at the plate, 2-0. Blackowitz given up 2 consecutive hits thus far. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. 2-1 count to Grand Canyon. Here's the pitch. And 3-1 count. Three-one count. And pitch clock violation gets ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Loaded bases here. And now another mound visit. And give me 1 second while they do that mound visit. Joshua Clark. This is actually on MLB Network. So if you want, you can go to MLB.com. It's currently free to watch on there if you're interested. Currently 4-0 Nebraska. The Huskers gave up 2 consecutive hits and then a ball 4 pitch clock violation. As that goes to left field, makes a catch for an out, and then has to watch as the runner from third comes home. As it is now 4-1 on a sacrifice fly. Grand Canyon able to get themselves a runner home. Here's the 0-0 pitch and down the middle for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And in there for a strike again, 0-2. Sanders up right now for Grand Canyon. Here's the pitch and up high and fumbles the ball, but still nothing. As that will be a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch low, and that's a 2-2 count. One out, 2-2 count. Two on base for GCU, as that one is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's going to be the second out, actually, not 2. As upcoming is Charles for Grand Canyon. There's a little swing here. And it just goes foul. As it's now 0-1. Charles getting set here, trying to see if he can get this game at least tied. The tying run at home and in there for a strike is 0-2. Oh and 2. Here's the pitch. And foul. Fouls it away. Strike 3. And that will do it for the inning. I'm going to take a small break after I reset here, as we'll get ready for the top of the 5th. Huskers at Grand Canyon set here tonight. Where's my... Oh, here it is. First pitch is a strike. As we come back here, and is 0-1 here, as that one gets sliced foul. 0-2. As Nebraska keeping themselves on their toes here. Buttenbach swings that one at the dirt, but he has to throw to first here and is able to complete the strikeout. As Nebraska down 1 already here in the 5th. Grand Canyon down 4-1 to Nebraska here in the 5th. Here's the pitch, and that will be outside for a ball. 1-0, Grand Canyon. Aiden Lee still on the mound for the Lopes, as that one is outside. 2-0. Update the scoreboard here to 2 hits. Here's the pitch, and in there for... No, they're calling that one a ball. 3-0. 3-0 for Lee as that one is hit. And the foul grounds. And that'll be caught for an out for out number 2 here in the 5th. Top of the 5th, 2 out here for the Huskers. Here's the pitch and a ground ball foul. 0-1. Oh and 1. Here's the pitch and outside. That's going to be 1-0 on the ball. One and 0 the pitch. Outside 2-1. Lee not really giving a lot of leeway here, pun intended. Trying to get him to chase at some stuff. And outside that time and away. 3-1. Three one here, Lee. The pitch. Slams that one. Flies out to right that time. That's the 3rd out. And they'll go to the middle of the 5th for this. In 1 second, I'm kind of move something real quick. Hang on. Kind of slided up the screen a little bit so that way I could see it. As getting ready here for the bottom of the 5th. Nebraska with a comfortable lead right now. But you don't want to give too much. Nebraska gave up 2 runners last inning. Didn't really do a whole lot to kind of prevent that from happening, but they were able to get out of the inning in the 4th. As upcoming here for, get back to my roster. Nielsen is up for Grand Canyon. Here's the pitch, and outside 1-0. I'll turn it down slightly so it's not. Mike. 1-0. Here's the pitch from the Skurs, as that's a pop fly. And the first baseman will track it down, and the Huskers will grab out number 1. Greetings and hello, True North. How are you doing tonight? Hope it is a pleasant night for you as well as the others tonight. Just checking out Nebraska baseball. The 2-0 Huskers looking to extend their winning streak so far, as that is ball one. In the dirt. Blackowitz still in the game for the Huskers. Here's a pitch. Slices for foul. Yeah, I saw he was doing that. Here's the pitch and swing and a miss. 1-2. Saw he was doing that as kind of his is it his after season thing? I'm not really sure. Oh, that's cool. Really awesome of him. In there for ball two, excuse me. Ball two, 2-2. Here's the pitch and swings and a little bit of a high fly to right and just catches it outside of the dirt for out number 2 here in the 5th. Not 5 outs. I would have. Yikes. How is he doing? Has he reached his goal? Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ball 1 to Blachina. Here's the pitch again, and up there for ball 2, 2-0. Two and 0 for the Huskers. Here's the pitch. Up high again, man. That's 3-0. Here's the pitch again, and that time gets in there for a strike, 3-1. Trying to keep them on their toes here. 3-1 count thus far. Oh, is he going to sleep on camera again? That'd be funny. Here's the pitch and ball 4. Dadgummit. Ball 4 and a base walk. Base walk. So, yeah, there you go. 2 outs and a walk. And now we got another mound visit. Dadgummit. Ugh. Still, though, keeping it real. God damn it, I hate these packets. Ugh. Excuse me. Another mound visit. It's like the third one in like the last 3 innings. Yeah, it looks like his day is done. Blackowitz's day is done. It'll be Chase Olson coming up for the Huskers to try and get things finished and squared away, at least for this inning. So, assuming you mean the Huskers, True North, the Huskers were Big Ten champions in the tournament last year. in the Big Ten tournament, were Big Ten champions, and then proceeded to get blown out by Oklahoma in the baseball regionals for the College World Series. Ended up getting blown out, I think 9-1, one game. Ended up beating Arkansas game 2, and then the final game of last year was 16-3. But in the past 2 years, Nebraska has won 2 Big Ten titles in the tournament. So they're not bad. They just have never been able to finish anything off like any Nebraska team, really. Chase Olson is getting his warm-ups in. Gotta love the MLB Network for not showing any commercials or ads. And you can actually see what they're doing on the field. So yes, indeed. Matt, how's it going, my man? Hope all is well over there. Just checking out Nebraska baseball and Grand Canyon as it sits at 4-1. Nebraska, as now we can get back to the game, as now Olson getting his first pitch in, the lefty. And his first throw is a pickoff attempt to first to try and get the runner there out. But so far, attempt failed. Here's the 0-0, and there's his first pitch in the zone, or outside, just outside. 1-0 is the count. One 0 count here. Here's the pitch again, and swinging a ball to the back of the net there, as that'll go 1-1. Getting set here. Here's the pitch from Olson. Swing and a high fly this time right out to center, and is able to make the catch to bring it in for the third out. And that's going to do that for that inning. The Huskers able to escape with no run, with one, was it a hit? It was a walk and no hits, no errors. Nebraska up 4-1 here at the end of the 5th. But so far, to no avail for Grand Canyon. They were able to put up a run back in the 4th, but so far nothing. Nebraska coming up here with Nunez, Jeske, and Miller to begin the 6th. It's Grand Canyon University, and if you really want to know something interesting, they are what I assume is the Antelopes. They're nicknamed the Lopes, which is quite interesting, considering that I never thought a big school as Grand Canyon. I hear they have a good I hear they have a rather mediocre basketball program, but I see ads and everything for their college all the time down here. And I guess their school got invited up to go play in the desert series up in Texas. Which is interesting. But unless you're a fan of deer or reindeer or antelopes, I wouldn't say it's contagious. Unless you like being around them. And yeah, it would be. But then again, you get to ride an elevator up and down it, as it is a deep hole. Here's the pitch here on the first one, and that's going to be a strike in there to Giuseppe. We have a new pitcher here in for this. It's Billy Gregory for Grand Canyon, the Lopes. As sits at a 4-1 lead. 0-2 count here. Gregory pitches and swing and a miss. One down for the Lopes. Here in the top of the sixth. And I apologize, that was Nunez up, not Giuseppe. I'm going to run out of those soon. Gregory's first pitch is outside. 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch again. Swing and a fly to left foul. Excuse me, right field foul. It was very nice of them to put the pitch clock on the back, so I had to see it. Here's the pitch, and in the dirt at 2-1. Went to the store today for your snack update and got these fruit snacks. Very popular brand. Won't say their name as they are not a fake sponsor of this show. 3-1 is the count now for the Lopes. I'm not sure if Grand Canyon University is based out of Arizona. I need to check. And outside ball 4, the Huskers will take a base. As that'll get Giuseppe at first. He's 2 for 2, has a home run on the day. I'll be darned. And these things are extremely hard to open. And a foul ball there, as that'll go 0-1. No. Rather, I got something else to drink. These cream sodas, I absolutely love. I buy them even when they're expensive. 0-1 count here for the Huskers. The pitch and another foul, 0-2. Top of the sixth. But yes, sugarless water. What does war come to? Here we go. Another foul there. 0-2. Upcoming. Here's the 0-2. Waiting. Now he throws it. And that one's kind of sliced in the air. See if that gets down. It will not. It will be caught for out number 2 and keeping Mr. Jasecki at first. Out number 2 this inning. Well, there's so many different kinds and versions of it. It's hard to choose a better one. I will tell you, though, I'm not a big fan of Dr. Pepper. However, I do happen to like specifically their cream soda drinks. Not really much else of theirs. Like, I know, like, Fansville has their commercials for Dr. Pepper and this and that, but even still, I can't stand their drinks. But cream sodas, I could do just about any. That is an outside ball that time. That's 1-0. That's to Buck. Gregory to Buck. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That's way low. That's going to be 2-0. See if I can get this open now. There it is. Now you want to open. 2-0 count here. As that'll be a strike that time. In the zone, 2-1. Two-one pitch and slices it back into the net. 2-2. Oh boy. Now we're really getting into it. Some of them have begun to do the wave. It's the lamest tradition in sports. And we're not even to the 8th inning. And they're already doing the wave. Here's the pitch. Ball rolls. He's going to have to complete the strikeout to first, and does. He does. Oh, man. Middle of the 6th, still 4-1. Chacon, Perry, and Johns are up for Grand Canyon when they decide to come back from that. As far as okay. The chicken dance has many variations to it. It is for all ages. What I do not need to see, to put it in kind of the Cosby term, if you've ever seen the Cosby Show, as the way he put it, I don't need to see people stand up and sit down. Stand up and sit down. They said individually, sign your check. I don't need people fantasizing about graduation, standing up and sitting down. It's lame. I never understood it. Never understood it. Yeah, I cannot stand, literally and figuratively, the wave. Anybody ever catches me doing that, I'm never never participating. You'll never see me doing that. Oh, good. We're at the bottom of the fourth. In there for a strike. Oh, and 1 count. As Olson's still pitching in for the Huskers. And in there for another strike. 1-2 is the count. 1-2. Here's the pitch. And fouls it back. That will be 2-2. Or, sorry, 1-2. And somebody ought to update the scoreboard to say from 1-3 to 1-2. Hang on. What are they saying? Well, to be perfectly honest, True North, I watched the United States kick the crap out of Germany. That's always fun. So, yeah. Now, I'll tell you what. Canada and the U.S. end up playing each other. I will seriously consider doing a live stream, depending upon the day it falls on, and if I'm not have a schedule conflict. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Down and low, 1-1. Here's the pitch again, and that time swings and misses. Yikes. Also, who did Canada beat today? I didn't see. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. And brings him up. Ding, ding, ding. Out number 1. Or excuse me, out number 2. You be the French. Those croissants loving the people. Here's the pitch on 0-0, and that is a ball or strike. Wow, I can't believe they call that a strike. Yikes. 0-1 the count, and swing and miss. 0-2. Might be a quick inning here. Here's the 0-2 from Olson. Here's the throw, and ooh, up high. Up high, that one. One and two. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1. Line shot deep. And that one gets down, actually. No. Gets down for a base hit. That's Johns, and Grand Canyon trying to strike late. Here's the pitch, and outside 1-0. 1-0 is the count here. Here's the pitch, and down low. 2-0 count. Nebraska trying to get out of this inning. Get to the 7th. Here's the pitch. And inverse strike that time. 2-1. 2-1. Here's the pitch, and that's a grounder up the middle. He missed it. Gets it to center and is able to get to third. Is the runner from first. Held up at first is Sanders. And remains 4-1 Nebraska. The shortstop tried to run up and grab it and couldn't do it. Could not do it. And that'll give Grand Canyon its 4th hit today. Here's the pitch. And that was close to a hit. That was incredibly close. 0-1 count. And Olsen's night might be nearly done here. Kind of giving up run after run. Swing and a miss there. That's 0-2. The Huskers in a little bit of danger here. Oh and 2. And 2-2 is the count. Oh no. 1-2 the count, excuse me. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging. And the Huskers get it there. We'll take a small break here. We'll be right back here on 1540 The Corn. The Huskers up 4-1, attempting to make themselves 3-0. We'll be right back. The Huskers begin this outing. The Huskers begin this outing tonight with a 1-2 count, as the pitch will get outside the zone for 3-2. Currently sitting up right now, Case Sanderson trying to get the Huskers on the bases once again. And swing and a miss for Case Sanderson, bringing that to the first out of the 7th inning. Here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. And a bunt by Nebraska, bunt foul. 0-1. 0-1. The Huskers attempting to try. And the pitch, and swings it. Swings it foul. And 0-2. The Huskers attempting to try to get this thing wrapped up here with 3 innings to go. 1 out here. That's ball 1 on the pitch. Billy Gregory still pitching for Grand Canyon as he's come in for the 3rd pitcher of the night for Grand Canyon. After there was a couple of pitchers gave up 4 runs, he's been the most consistent so far. Swing and a miss there for Overbeek. And that's the 2nd out upcoming for the Huskers. Getting set now. Here's the pitch. That's ball 1. Ball 1 for the Huskers. 1-0 is the count. Here's a pitch. 2-0. We'll see what they end up doing here now. 2-0 count. Swinging a high ball high to left, and that will get down for a base hit. The Huskers putting up hit number 8 for Drew Carey. Excuse me. Eighth hit of the night for the Huskers. Carey again. Here's a pitch, and in there for a strike is Gregory. 0-1. And here's a pickoff attempt at first. Nowhere going with that. With 2 out here in the 7th. 0-8. Here's the pitch. Swings and up the line. Try to wait for it to go foul. It does not. It doesn't go foul. And the Huskers A second man on base off of a slight tap that went down the third base foul line, and the Huskers pick up a runner. And now we'll have Kitchens up, but ladies and gentlemen, we got a mound visit. Got a mound visit. Like to see what it looks like here. Oh, and now they're done with the mound visit. It was relatively quick. So no change in pitching so far. Billy Gregory still in for Grand Canyon U. Kitchens comes up here, the senior. 0 for 3 tonight. If there would ever be a time for him to get a hit here, it'd be right here, and that's going to be ball one. It's flied out to right all 3 times tonight. Here's a pitch, and hits the ground, and Nebraska might have had an opportunity and missed it there. 2-0 the count. And they're sitting at Sloan Park tonight. Here's the pitch. And a grounder. Two-one the results so far of this at bat. Kitchens attempting to try to keep the Huskers in good position. Again, another foul. Two balls, two strikes. And again, a foul ball. No. Nah. Given that it doesn't have a halftime show, I mean, it wouldn't be really my first choice either, just based on what I've seen. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strike 3 and half inning over. Going to the bottom of the 7th. Nebraska still up 4-1 and keeping it real here. And a new pitcher for Nebraska. Jashawn Unger will be the new pitcher here for Nebraska. Camden Bates is the first up for Grand Canyon. Jarrett Nielsen will be right next to him. And then right back at the top of the order, Vince Bancini. Bacina? I think I'm just going to go with Bacina. Can't say his name. It's got too many weird letters and this and that. A lot of players have that these days. Like even like some of the guys I like have weird names. Like, what kind of last name is Purdy? Just it's it's weird how that has become kind of normal. Wait, did I just disconnect? What the heck? Has become kind of okay. Maybe okay. All right, we're still good. We're still good. First pitch is a 1-0 ball game. 1-0 count, I should say. Time to down another one. Gosh, I love these things. And hang on, they just called something. A pinch hit. I guess a new batter's coming in. Here's a pitch. And that goes foul. 2-1. 2-1. Let me get a new one. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. 2-1 count here. And off the pitcher, trying to recover, is able to, gets him out. Gets him for out number 1. Out number 1. Grand Canyon. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. 1-1 count. Whoa, bubbles. Excuse me. Here's the pitch. And that's outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. And foul ball. 1-2. One, two count here. And in the dirt, 2-2. Here's the pitch on 2-2. In the dirt again, 3-2. Trying to pull out number 2 here. 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And swing at a high fly to left. And gets the out. It was close. Got near the warning track that time and is able to grab out number 2 there. Here's the first pitch and a strike in there for Grand Canyon. Here's the pitch again. And outside, 1-1 is the count. Nebraska attempting to try and make this a night. 1-1. Here's the pitch and a swing and a miss. 1-2. 1-2. Nebraska with a chance to get out of this inning here and just go to the 8th. Maybe put another run up, hopefully. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he lost control of the bat. Lost control of it. That's out number 3. And now we go to the 8th. Going to the 8th now. The Huskers and Grand Canyon. 4-1. Excuse me for a moment. All right, we're back. We're back. Getting ready to start the top of the 8th here. Indeed, chair. You got a little bit of chair. I hope you enjoyed that chair. For he was a kind chair. A real rock to sit on, but hey, you got chair. Anyway, Nebraska is back up to bat here at the top of the 8th. And Billy Gregory is up. Moyer is up for Nebraska. This is his first at-bat. And in for ball 1, it would seem. Or no ball 1 or no strike or anything. That was a warm-up pitch of some kind. Here's the pitch. And that time is in there for a ball. The Huskers, ball 1. And here at Sloan Park, The pitch in their first ball 3. The Huskers 3 balls in here for Moyer. We'll see what he wants. The pitch tries to go for a bunt attempt, and that's strike 1. Come on, man, just take the walk. Just take the walk. Here's the pitch. And yeah, he does take the walk that time. Yes. Let's go. On to first base is Moyer. Jeske is up now for Nebraska. 2 for 2 on the day, a couple of walks and a home run. All the way back in the 3rd inning. Top of the 8th. Here's the pitch and right down the seam. That is a strike. A 1 count. Here's the, oh no, it's a pickoff attempt to first. It didn't even come close to getting him. Even that shocked me. Up, mound meeting between the pitcher and the catcher. Because he has to make sure he knows who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know who's on third. 0-1 count. Man on first for Nebraska. Here's a pitch. And gets down for a ball. 1-1 is the count. A 1-1 count. Here's a pitch and low into the dirt in 2-1. Into the dirt 2-1. And now, oh, he gets it from somewhere else. 2-1 is the count now for Grand Canyon. Tommy McGuire is the new pitcher in for Grand Canyon. I forgot to mention that. Another pickoff attempt here. So far today, the Huskers 10 for 30 on hitting. Grand Canyon just 4 of 23. Here's a little grounder here. Try to throw from third and will not even get there in time. 2 runners on for Nebraska. Here at the top of the 8th with nobody out. And a shot to get some runs here. Add an extra couple. Nebraska, 4 runs on 10 hits, no errors in tonight's game. Grand Canyon just 1 run on 4 hits. Here's the pitch now, and a little squeeze bunt goes foul. Grand Canyon not really able to get anywhere as they're just trying to advance said runners. Trying to advance said runners here. The Huskers 0 for 1 on this one. And a wild pitch into the outfield. He tried to throw to second. It goes wild. And Joseki and Moyer move up. And the Huskers have second and third now. And even as much as a single can get the Huskers 2 extra runs. And slicing foul is that one. 0-2 is the count. The pitch and a foul ball that's caught. Here's the top of the 8th, and that's one down. That was Miller who just sacked it up there. And now here comes Buck up for Nebraska. Here's the pitch, and in there for a ball. Just a little high. One and 0 to Buck. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Ugh. One and 1 count, swing and a miss. 1-2. Oh, great. My computer would like me to know that I've been charged for too long. Okay. 2-2 count after that ball. Nebraska was still 2 runners on. Here's the pitch, and slices it down. Base hit. Nebraska will bring 2 runners home. A single that brings both runners from third home. And off of that, makes it Nebraska's 11th hit and 6 runs. And no, they count it as an error. Or no, they didn't count it as an error. So a man on first for Nebraska. Here's a pitch, a little slicer down into left. As it bounces, it gets over the wall. It's a ground rule double. And we're right back where we were just a moment ago. And they'll call that one an error. I thought they would have called the single an error because of, 6-1, Nebraska threatening another 2 runners. And I think that Tommy McGuire's night might be done here for Grand Canyon. And it is. Cam Cunnings is the new entry for GCU. Six to 1 Nebraska. And Nebraska looks like it's going to start its season 3-0 tonight, as they are just on a really big roll here. 6 to 1. Getting ready for this set here. As the Huskers come back out ready to go, putting their men back on second and third after they met. And now getting his feet ready and dipped into the ground. Joshua Overbeek, who looks ready to go to start smacking some balls here. Excuse me. Here's the pitch. And right up it. Another run. Nebraska looking for another 2 runs. They get it. And a single gets Nebraska 2 more runs, making it now 12 hits, 8 runs, no errors for Nebraska. And the Huskers just running this up. Here's the pitch. And oh my lord, he slices it to left. He might have this runner come home. He will. It's going to be a stand-up double. Nebraska scores again. "13 hits, 9 runs, and oh man, Drew Carey. It's now 9 to 1, and if Nebraska hits a home run here, it could be in mercy rule territory and ending the night an inning sooner. 9 to 1 Nebraska. Slicing 2 balls foul and looking to continue the night. I believe he plays right field. Then again, I'm not all too familiar with their positions. And strike 3. But I'm not kidding you. His name is actually Drew Carey. Two outs here, and that's a strike. Nebraska's basically game-winning run is standing at home plate right now. If he just is able to launch this where he wants to. Kitchen slices a foul back into the seats. And 0 for 2. For 2 with the count here. The pitch. And in there for a strike. 0 and 2. Here's the pitch again. And swung at it, and they call that 3? No, let's say he fouled it. Kitchens is trying to see if he can get it going. Here's the pitch, and he swung out swinging. Struck out swinging, yep. Throws it to first to complete it. And that'll do it for the top portion of the 8th. And Nebraska adds 5 runs in this inning alone. And now we'll go to the bottom. Nebraska up 9-1, 14 hits, and no errors. 1 error was allowed defensively by Grand Canyon after they let a ball sneak through, allowing Nebraska to score 2 extra runs, enabling this game to a 9-1 deficit. It's been a great night. It's been a great night. Bottom of the 8th coming up here. Grand Canyon probably not wanting to try and see if they can get up here. Or maybe they'll just say screw it and go home. Would be the worst decision they made. Not a lot of great bullpen moves by Grand Canyon tonight. Jashawn Unger is the pitcher still for Nebraska, as my internal clock is ticking right now. Here's the pitch down the middle for strike 1 for Nebraska. Here's the pitch again, and that's outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Oh, man. Imagine if I have to... Imagine if more runs start coming in from Grand Canyon. This thing goes to 14 innings. Whew. Whew. Here's the pitch on 2-1, and slices foul into the back. Now it's 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch here. And it's ball 3. 200. It's only day 1. It's already at 253. What, is he gone to sleep already? And that's ball 4. And Grand Canyon has a man on first. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. 9-1. 9-1, 14-4. 14 hits for Nebraska to 4 hits Grand Canyon. And that's strike 1. Getting set. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt and gets away from him. And allows. And actually, the runner did not advance from first to second like I thought he would. And now it's 9-1. In comes set. Here's a pitch. And inside or outside, that's going to be 2-1. Did not hit the zone. And now getting ready to rock here for the final. That's a ball and actually, sorry, that's a strike. 2-2 is the count. No outs thus far. Double play would be nice here. Sets, here's the pitch. And swings, and that's going to be the center. Trying to track it down. He does, makes the catch. And having to run back to first to try and tag up, and will. But he will not advance forward. And that'll be the first out for the Huskers. And now, 1 down. Here at the bottom of the 8th. Slap foul. 0-1. And into the dirt, that one. That's a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. And goes there for 2-1. Two and one. Here's the pitch, and does not call that a strike. 3-1. 3-1. A double play would end it here. Or would end the 8th here. Here's the pitch. Slaps it up. That's probably going to end it there. And that at bat. It will. And the Huskers just 4 outs away from putting this game away. That's assuming the offensive position goes quickly. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Here it is again. The 0-1 and hits the dirt, and advancing to second is a runner from first. And now Grand Canyon has got Perez sitting at second. Here's the pitch again, and in there for a ball, 2-1 is the count. Here's the pitch again, and that one swings high and goes foul. And that's not an updated stat count. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. And that looks like it is strike three. And the Huskers, as the live feed on the MLB thing is now going in and out. I hope that means my stream isn't doing that. Does not appear to be. It appears to be just the little thing on there. All right, so top of the ninth coming up, and we'll see if I can fix this. Top of the ninth. The orange shirt guy from Jim Beam's stream. What orange shirt guy are we talking about? Because either I'm neglecting something, because it's been like, don't get me wrong, I miss his streams too. However, it's been a minute, and I'm not sure what orange shirt guy we're referring to. If anything, I miss the cats more. I wonder whatever has happened to Angie and good old Monty. Maybe we'll have some sort of like, maybe we'll put together like some sort of like rest in peace video, and I'll play it on stream. Could do that. Might be a good idea. Top of the ninth. Nebraska coming up for its final inning set. Oh yeah, you mean the game with like, what was it? Hartwick and Utica? I think that was the game. And I remember those teams specifically because it didn't have that back end, and I remember him commenting about that. Ball one there for the Huskers. Yeah. Yeah, that was like the one game that had that. Because he had to go chase it in that he had to go chase it in that field that was like it was like tall grass, and He was the designated person to go get it. I wonder how much they paid him for that. 1-1 count here. Here's the pitch. And that's outside, 2-1. Oh, there. It wouldn't have surprised me. Here's the pitch and ground ball up the middle and picks it up. And did he get him in time? He did. First out down. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was probably a lot of creatures in that grass. Considering what lives in like tall grass like that, I mean, you hope there's not ticks out there, but you never know. And especially if it's in New York. Not the city, obviously, but in that state, yeah. There's a first pitch, ball 1. Ball 1 and no count here. Here's the pitch again and gets in there for a strike that time. 1-1 count. Miller at the top of the order for Nebraska, 2-1. And now Nebraska, 2-1 count. A little slice and dice and is able to get the catch for the out there. And ladies and gentlemen, that's out number 2. This inning going by pretty quickly. Nebraska looked like they're going to end the inning with 9 runs, the game with 9 runs, unless Grand Canyon were to somehow score 8 in an inning. (9-1) Huskers. In there for a strike now. Oh, and 1 count. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike as well. 0-2. Hello, Henry. How are you doing tonight? Just checking out Nebraska baseball. Here's the pitch again, and that is going to be strike 3. Ring him up. And that is going to do it for the top of the ninth, as we will go to the bottom to finish this game out. The Huskers looking to cap off the night. 14 hits tonight, 9 runs, no errors. The errors portion is just thus far. Nebraska has left 10 on base, whereas GCU has left 7. 7 opportunities to score. And not a ton for GCU to try and get on the board. They've had a couple of opportunities, but not very many that they've taken advantage of. Jace Ziola will be the new and final pitcher of the night for Nebraska, barring that any barring any 8-run comebacks here. 9-1. And getting set. Oh, I don't know if Bonnie wants overtime. I haven't seen him to ask. And now, Nebraska with its final pitcher of the night. Getting his last few warm-up pitches in. As he'll throw that last one, and here comes the first batter, Sanders, up for Grand Canyon. 3 outs away from the Huskers taking this one home and going 3-0 on the night. 9-1. As here we go. Here's a little slicer to the outfield, trying to run and get it. And it appears that he will not. It's a foul ball. 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. Nebraska attempting to start the baseball season out 3-0. One and one. Here's a pitch. It gets it off the ball. That's 1-2. 1-2. Nebraska attempting to finish this off. Here's the pitch. And down 2-2. Down low. Here's the pitch. Swing and a little bit of a ball pickup here. Running to first gets him out for out number 1. Out number 1. And yeah, here we go. Matronga now coming up here for, and that's miss, swing and miss, strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ball 1. Ball 1 upcoming here. The 1-1, and it's outside. Oh, it's outside again. 2-1. 2-1 and an out. Here's the pitch. And, still outside. 3-1. And we'll see what we have here. Foul ball attempt. Here's a windup here and the pitch. And slices that one. They'll call that foul, 3-2. Pitch clock winding down. Here's at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Here's the pitch. And that's ball 4. A walk for Grand Canyon. Gets them on base with trying to find their last glimmer of hope here. Yes, here we go. Here's the first pitch, and in there for a strike. The 0-1. Delivery. And here's a little shot, and that's going to be the first out, or the second out. It was a grounder to third, picked up by the shortstop, and thrown to all the way back to first for the second out. Trying to finish this off. Nebraska. 3 strikes away from certain victory. And the first pitch, and the runner will just run up to second. Runner at second. The 0-1. Slice foul. 0-2. Maybe no overtime tonight. It probably will be no overtime tonight. Ball 1. Here you go again. The 1-2. Uptight, ball 2. 2-2 count here. Fans on their feet. 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Huskers come away with a 9-1 victory off of 14 hits. The Huskers win tonight, continuing a 2-game winning streak, making it into 3 here in down there in Texas, as they continue their winning streak of 3 games in a row. And just looking at it tonight, it was a good night for Nebraska. Great night for Nebraska. Just top highlights tonight were it was Jaceki hitting that home run to get Nebraska scoring started in the 3rd inning. He had a couple RBIs as well. See you later, True North. We will see you later. Drew Carey had an RBI, Overbeek 2 RBIs, and Buck 3 RBIs, getting the Huskers their runs in tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here at 1540 The Cord. We so appreciate you hanging out. Hit the like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content from 1540 The Cord. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful and fantastic night. Good night, everybody.